Okay, I feel I must explain where I'm coming from when it comes to energy and and it's not even creation of energy because we are in a universe which is made up of elements. When you put specific elements together, it creates energy. And then molecules store energy, potential energy. You putting specific elements together create a big energy, a small energy, a good energy, a bad energy. What is good and bad? It is subjective. Good and bad energy are subjective. It's relative to the person creating or exuding energy based upon the elements in the body, the objects in the body, creating an energy and then spewing it out. And how the energy then gets received, it could be good or bad. So you may think you're putting out good energy, but then it gets received badly, and it just depends upon, the state of both people. See, this is where we have to understand how energy gets converted, how energy gets received, and we think that only coming from love is only a good energy. But remember, love can be imbalanced. Hate could be imbalanced. A hatred from somebody could be converted into love based upon the state that the recipient is in, based upon, their balances or imbalances. Okay, so this is where this thing with energy and chemistry, they're the same thing. And this is what I try to impress this upon, people about chemical and energy, but I know people want to see it as a difference, that they're separate, chemical and energy, because they're trying to go into a different world, create a whole different world around energy. But energy and chemistry it's like redundancy. There really is no separation. Okay, because you wouldn't have energy if it wasn't for chemistry. You just can't create energy, and you can't destroy it. If you can't create it and you can't destroy it, then all you can do is convert it and manipulate it. See, that's the difference with J Juice and the people out there that want to have a separation of energy and chemistry. And that's not where my head's at, okay? Because you can take vaccines that may seem like it's a negative on a mutated body, and it would be because you are coming from a negative mutated standpoint that cannot be able to receive the messages of the energy because you're not converting it correctly. So it's going to seem like it's a bad thing to you. But guess what? You take the energy in vaccines and then you apply it to a very strong, positive body. Those vaccines are not going to do shit. Actually, they're going to give people the right message, a stronger body instead of a weaker body. So how energy is being received and how energy is being expressed is really have to do with the state that the person is in. And that has to do with everything else. The vaccines, the antibiotics, what else? The viruses. See, they all can be converted to positive and negative based upon the balance or the imbalances of the recipients and the ones that are expressing expressing these energies. Okay? So, and that's why I had to go and get the actual definition of energy, because I know innately that there is no difference between chemistry and energy. They're the same thing. They will always be the same thing. You cannot have energy without chemistry. You cannot. And the thing with J Juice, it's chemical, but chemicals convert energy. Okay? It does. And biochemistry converts energy. So if you really want to get down to the nitty gritty, this is why, when someone seems like they're being so positive and someone is like really reacting to what would be like a positive type of thing, you have to understand the state that the other person is in. Because you can have somebody that's very imbalanced try to provide a good message and it's not getting received well. You know why? Because in the background, there's major imbalances going on. And then the recipient of your information may be having a good intention, but the background, the person that's actually expressing the energy has imbalances. So it's getting received, in the way that the expressor really intends, even though that's not really their intention, but it's the subconscious level. And the person receive it actually gets the real true message. They're not seeing the good intentions. They're seeing actually there's an imbalance going on. And also too, the person that receives the energy, how they receive it is based upon their internal universe as well. So this is why we can never say 100% that, this way, this vaccines are bad, this energy is bad, or this energy is all good, because when I say good and bad, it's still subjective. It's based upon the state the recipient and the expressor is in. And it's all chemistry. Everything is, vaccines are chemistry. The J juice is chemistry. What else is chemistry? The viruses are chemistry. Hey, Edith. Everything is chemical. Everything is chemistry, even energy. You cannot just create energy. Energy is just converted. And it's converted based upon the expressor and the recipient. It cannot be just created. So when you manipulate somebody's body or you do energy healing on people, you're still transferring energies and manipulating them based upon an outside force that has an intention. And if you have already imbalances in your body, that intention is going to be transferred onto the other person. So this is why you must get your own energies balanced with using the right chemical process, the right chemical ingredients to be able for you not to rely on somebody else now converting your energy. You can convert your own energy relative to your intention. I did it. That's why I stay far away from people who are trying to get me to do energy healing and energy stuff, because that's not where my head's at. My head is not to manipulate my hormones and manipulate my energies based upon somebody else's intention. I actually have my own intention to manipulate my own energy with my own hormones and my own recipe. And then I exude what that energy has converted into. Now, how you receive my information is based upon the state that your body is in. You can receive my information as like Jillian's a cult leader because you have your own imbalances, and it's not for me to decide that if you're bad or good. That's your own energy. That's your own internal universe that is either able to receive my information or not able to receive my information. Okay? And then somebody else that understands my energy will totally get where I'm coming from, not look at me as a cult leader, because they have an alignment of energies. And so this is why some people get my information and others don't. This is why some people are so against vaccines and others have like absolutely no really feelings about it, because we know the ones that don't worry about the pro-vax, anti-vax, just understanding how the body works, understands how energy gets converted. So you never have to put a label of good and bad on it. Because I noticed myself talking about good and bad. I'm like, what? Hold on a second. Somebody else could look at something as good. Somebody else could look at something as bad. Now, how do you determine what's good and bad? Well, then it's the state that the body is in. So crystals and the internet and the salt, when you're just using these things as, as your medium to energize somebody, it's going to reflect back what the state that your body is in and your energy is in. So that's what I'm saying. Be careful of people doing energy healing on you that haven't balanced their body correctly, because they're transferring their own imbalances onto you. And they may not do it physically. They do it even phonetically, verbally. Okay? So it's like, this is why we have to be very careful following people. Because if they're not really exemplifying well balanced physically, intellectually, spiritually, and they don't have the alignment of the body, mind, and spirit, then you're going to get a very mixed message. And then you already have mixed messages in your world. So now you're going to get even more chaos and be even more confused. This is why the J juice is so revolutionary, because you're taking and balancing your own energies based upon an alignment of chemistry that is going to then balance you out. And so no matter what, if you're balanced out, you will talk in a very balanced way. And how it gets received is based upon now the state that the other person is in. So you're not responsible for how they receive the message. Sometimes I feel responsible for how they receive the message because they don't like the way I say things. Well, that's not my problem. I know I'm coming from a well-balanced point of view because I'm doing the J juice. I've reversed my issues. I'm not turning to massive amount of drugs to deal with my stuff. And I'm not imposing my view onto somebody else and crossing lines and boundaries. Okay? So now another person could think, and they're all like, in my opinion, in my world, I think they're imbalanced. And so they'll be putting out stuff out there, and people who are aligned with their energies, with their, mutations, are going to then align with them. And that's fine. Remember, birds of a feather flock together. When people repel each other, it's because they have misaligned energies. This is what I talk about as far as energy. Energy is chemistry. Chemistry is energy. They're interchangeable. There is no separation. And if you don't get that, then then that's fine. You don't have to get that. You can still integrate J juice and still have your belief system, and it's not going to hurt your belief system anyway. It'll only enhance your life, and maybe you still adopt that, the J juice, and as far as its chemistry and energy and chemistry are the same, or you'll still think that energy is totally different than chemistry. Okay, fine. It's not for you to decide what you should believe in, but don't impose your belief system on me and say, okay, that you must now adopt this specific way. No, J juice is individual, is not reliant on an outside force manipulating all of your different chakras. That's not the point of J juice. It's individual. It's an individual journey. And you will be individual leaders in your journey. Okay. Now, if you want to take on my information, and that's fine, and you want to put it out there and you like the way I say things, yeah, you're going to seem like a follower, but you can still take my information and create your own following in other things. It doesn't have to be just J juice. I happen to just corner the market in the whole thing with the health stuff. But you can take, all of your manifestations of J juice and all your well-balancedness and apply it to other things in your world that'll make you a leader in your world. Okay, there's no competition. There is no competition with J juice. It really isn't. Anyway, that's just my feelings, and that's what I want to make sure that some of you that I know I've had conversations about chemistry and energy. And there's a huge, huge market in the energy world. Huge market. And I understand that. And some people need to protect their investments. I understand that too. But, if you don't want me to focus on your area, don't try to get me into your energy healing area. Just, if we already had a conversation that I don't agree, then that's fine. Leave it alone. That way I don't focus on it. But since I have been kind of getting pressure to go into the energy healing area, I'm going to focus and tell you why exactly I have not gravitated towards it. And this is why. All right, bye.